Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is your girl and host, Michelle Diamond, with InDaHouseMedia TV inside of 285. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are so excited to give you guys so many updates as we wait on our live interview with the infamous First Lady of Def Jams, Miss Allison Williams. The last interview we had, if you guys missed it, you could definitely go on our website and our YouTube channel and, take your sneak peek into the interview with Robert Parham. Some amazing details that he gave us on all the projects that he has coming up, Mad as Hell, and lots more. So check that out. He also informed us of a wonderful seminar that he's doing, which is at the Urban Action Showcase. That's www.urbanactionshowcase.com and choose his course. Okay, that's the Robert Parham course. So we are brought to you, of course, by our amazing sponsors, unstoppableproducts.com, for that wonderful skin face mask. It is amazing, guys. So make sure that you get onto that site, www.unstoppableproducts.com, and check it out. Okay. We are also brought to you by our amazing sponsor, Sapphire Emerald Magazine. And, you guys tune in for all the great updates that's to come. We want you guys in the building on November 19th. That's right, Thursday, November 19th, and that is for our InDaHouse Media and Next Level Promotion feature presentation for Are You Ready for Showtime? Okay, that is our indie R&B showcase. We have so many celebrity judges in the building, as well as guests, and a guest appearance by the amazing Too Sweet. You heard it from Robert Parham on our last session at 7, how amazing and talented this beautiful young lady is. So you guys want to come out and support and see her live in action on November 19th. Now, deadline for my artist is tomorrow, November 6th, to submit everything that we discussed as far as, your ticketing, what you're responsible for. Make sure that you submit over the music format, and any other questions, just email us at info.indahousemedia@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me as well at nextlevelpromotion@gmail.com. Now, we want you guys to know that we have so many things that we are brewing for you guys. We are currently working on our hip hop showcase. So our hip hop genre, we did not forget you guys. That's coming, and we are getting ready to gear up for our annual PWIA. That is the Philly weekend in Atlanta. So we are making preparations to start our planning for that great grand event that we did last year for our first inaugural debut, which was a huge success. And thanks to Novi Records for coming out and supporting and bringing some amazing talent. Thank you to our guys coming all the way from Chicago, Otis, his radio station, and so much more. Don Conley. We have so many people. Thank you to our partners in crime, Simone Enterprises, of course, Philly Weekend, and so much more, Mr. Paul himself. And we just want to let you guys know that amazing things are in store. So stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. And with that being said, we have multi-talented guest judges back to November 19th for that showcase. So we have Mr. Cal Dawson that's going to be in the building, of course, and he is the former president of Murder Inc., as well as the CEO of Cal Dawson Management, and he has amazing things coming up. They have a showcase also on the 27th, so stay tuned for that. We have Mr. James Worthy in the building, singer, songwriter, producer, Grammy nominated 5 times, just amazing. We have our prophet, twice Grammy nominated, formerly of Nappy Roots, in the building. Again, Novi Records will be down, and coming down to represent and scouting for talent as well. We have Dr. Alvin Perry from P5 Designs in the building. CEO of Reels Music Group will also be in the building. Miss Juliet Ford, and so much more. So, if you guys have not locked the date in as of yet, gentle reminder that is November 19th. That is Thursday, November 19th. Showtime starts at 8. And you do not want to miss out. Be in the building because, again, we have the amazing Too Sweet, guys, that's going to bless us with her amazing vocals. And of course, you don't want to miss out on all the talent that's going to be in the building. When I tell you these people are coming to rock the house, they're coming to rock the house. All right. And that's just about it from Team In the House Media. And we will be back to talk about Miss Allison Williams and all that she has coming up, all that she has done. So stay tuned. Talk to you in a sec. Hi guys, I'm sorry about that. We're back and we're sorry for the delay. There was some technical difficulties, so we are working that out on the other end. But in the meantime, we are back. And just for our viewers that just joined us, just to let you guys know, we did talk about our wonderful sponsors, which is Sapphire Emerald Magazine. We talked about, Unstoppable Products. You go to www.unstoppableproducts.com. She has an amazing skin mask. You guys definitely want to try it. Very reasonably priced, and it's for the entire family. So you guys definitely need to check it out. And the reason why I say that, because you want to be unstoppable too. Absolutely. And that skin mask is simply amazing. Instantaneous results. So www.unstoppableproducts.com and grab your skin mask. Okay. Now, with everything else that we have going on, we have November 19th and we're pushing that date because it's right around the corner, and we want all of our indie R&B artists to come out. Even if you're not registered and you're not performing that night, you can come out and support and see what everything is about. It is going to be at Nancy's out in Conyers, and we are bringing you an amazing showcase, okay? Multi-talent in the building. And it is Indie R&B Showcase. Are you ready for prime time? So are you ready for prime time? If so, we need to see you on November 19th out at Nancy's, okay? You do not want to miss it because we have the amazing Too Sweet in the building that is gracing us with her presence, and she's going to give us an exclusive performance. And as Mr. Parham just said on our last interview, which was simply amazing, you don't want to miss out on this performance, okay? I mean, she has performed in front of over 25,000 people. She's an international artist. She's performed in Uganda. She's well known. You guys Google and do your research. You be in the building November 19th, okay? We have multiple celebrity guest judges that's going to be there. The package, the incentives are all tremendous. So you have until tomorrow, November 6th, to get everything into us. Make sure you let us know what your music format is. Submit over your guest list, and you will be in the house. So be in the house again on November 19th out at Nancy's, 1360. Okay, giving you the address now. We are officially in the building, and I'm going to make sure that everybody has all the updates and 411 because we want you to have all the details and no excuses for what's going on. All right. So for Nancy's, we are definitely going to be in the building, and that location is going to be. Let me grab it for you guys. Out in Conyers, Georgia, at Nancy's Pizza, and it's 1360 Dogwood Drive, Southeast. 1360. Just wanted to make sure I didn't say Edgewood. It's Dogwood. 1360 Dogwood Drive, Southeast Conyers, Georgia, 30013. So you have the official address, 1360 Dogwood Drive, Southeast Conyers. Be in the building November 19th. It's on a Thursday. It's going to be lit. You guys know that's my favorite line. Lit, lit, lit. And I'm not just saying that it's going to be lit for no reason. It's definitely going to be something you want to be in the building for. So stay tuned. And once again, we are brought to you by unstoppableproducts.com, www.unstoppableproducts.com, as well as Sapphire Emerald Magazine. Stay tuned for all the finest updates because we are growing together and we are paying it forward and we are welcoming all in the house. And we will be back on the air once we work out what's going on Miss Allison's end and make sure that you guys get the deliverance of this dynamic interview that we promised you. It will happen and we will see you soon. I will be back with all the updates. Thanks again for tuning in. Michelle with In the House Media House Call inside of 285, and we'll talk soon. Hey guys, we are back. So sorry for the delay. We had a little bit technical difficulty, but we have the gorgeous and amazing Allison Williams with us. Hi, Miss
Hi, baby. How are you?
Williams. Good. How are you, gorgeous?
Are you a diamond shining brightly?
Oh, absolutely. Just as you are. Oh my gosh. I am so ecstatic. Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're back and we appreciate your patience with us. I said we were going to deliver, and here is our beautiful Miss Williams, of course, with In the House Media inside of 285 House Calls. And the legendary Miss Williams, first lady of Def Jams. Like, I remember Just Call My Name. You name it all. I'm like, yes. I look in my head, I'm like jamming, like, yeah, take me back. So
I am.
yes, how
And here we are, still going strong, huh? I'm sorry
yes.
I'm not on a baseball cap today, but I've been traveling all day long. I want to send a special shout out to Virgil Thompson and the Thompson family in Cincinnati, Ohio. They've lost their matriarch, their father, Virgil Thompson Sr., and I'm here because I will be in service to that family on tomorrow as Virgil Thompson Sr. has transitioned. And he was like a dad to me too. So my manager lost his father, and so I'm traveling, and so I'm a little, just off the plane and what have you. But hey, how you do?
No, it's totally okay. We get it. We are just grateful that you're with us. And from the on behalf of the team in the House Media, Next Level Promotion, and all of our wonderful sponsors, we send our love and condolences to you and the family. And we're just grateful that you, in your busy schedule and with all that's going on, take the time out to still step in and talk to us. So
I
we are,
wouldn't have missed it for the world.
oh, well, we love you anyway. So,
Thank you. Mwah.
absolutely. So tell me what's going on with you. I mean, I know, of course, we hear the New York accent. She's from Harlem. Okay, y'all already know that. So if you
Y'all
didn't
kill me
know,
with that New York accent thing. New Yorkers can't hear it.
but I used to reside in New York, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you lost your accent." I'm like, "Whatever." So when you came on and I heard it, I was like, "That's it."
New Yorkers can't hear it. We can't hear it for ourselves. It's like this. Oh, it's like being in a vortex. It's weird.
Mhm.
Everywhere we go, we
Yeah.
hear. Oh, we hear the New York accent. We cannot hear it for ourselves.
I know I never did grasp that until I resided down south for so long. And then when I hear my girlfriend speak, I'm like, that's what everybody used to say.
So I have to wait for that. I have to wait for that moment. I now live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina,
Awesome. Yeah,
and
it's beautiful there.
so I will be waiting on the day when I hear someone and can detect the New York accent. I detect when sometimes I go a little southern.
Oh yeah.
And I know what that is. But it's always been a thing where no matter where I traveled in the world, I would kind of pick up the dialect and the accent as a result of having to survive. So you have to know the language. So when I would come back into New York's JFK and get in a cab, I've actually had opportunities where the cab driver tried to take me for a quote unquote ride because my dialect sounded as if I was foreign, and I had to snap them back real quick and say, "Boo, I live here. This is not how you get to Harlem.
Exactly.
This is not how you get to Midtown. You don't have to take this route." But they thought because of I came back speaking like I don't know what I sounded like. I was a foreigner. I don't know what it was.
Look, you had a little bit of that southern dialect going.
I, I had Southern, no, but I had a little Southern, maybe Southern France. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well,
I was doing the European thing, and I would
that's
come into
true.
JFK, and they would try to take me around the Belt Parkway, and I was like, "You don't have to take me around the Belt Parkway. Just go across the 59th Street Bridge. Are you crazy?"
Yeah, that's the long route. Oh no. Oh goodness. Look, they were trying to get you Belt Parkway,
They
Cross
were trying to get
Island.
me to get the dollars, the dollars.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember I spent 30 minutes in a man telling me I must take the big Huey, the big Huey, the big
Yeah,
Huey. He was trying to say the
Brooklyn Queens Expressway.
BQE.
Yeah, no, no, no. So I know. I'm like, oh no, wait. You trying to go the long way. Look, just hop
What's
across
the
here,
big Huey? What's the
Island.
big Huey? I don't know what the big Huey, the big Huey, the big Huey, the BQE. No, boy, get on the tripod bridge. Are you crazy?
Thank you. Straight shots, straight shots. See, I love it. That's right. Represent for my New York people. Look, let us behave ourselves. No, this guys, we just love it. But oh my gosh, I've been following and tell me all about summer nights in Harlem. Like,
Oh, the new project. Well, most of the time we start the conversation with Def Jam and the First Lady of Def Jam and so on and so forth. But I'm so excited that even in the midst of a pandemic, I've been able to remain a creative, remain a relevant musician, and to come into, not only continue to be in the studio, but to release the newest music that I've worked on into the universe. And it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It really, really is. Summer Nights in Harlem is my heart project. It is going back to my jazz root. Most people might know me obviously as the First Lady of Def Jam and R&B music, and even the more how can I put it, the legacy music of the hip hop. Before we had hip hop as a part of
right.
our vernacular, the rap music that Curtis Blow laid down, and with basketball and If I Rule the World, and all those
Yes.
different hooks that I was responsible for. Now I've come
Mhm.
back to my jazz root, and Summer Nights in Harlem is a refreshing take on the Great American Songbook. I like to call it a new school standard. Um, when you look back at people or musicians and performers, and we want to perform Misty or My Funny Valentine or I Wish You Love and all those great songs. These songs, Summer Nights in Harlem and The Romance of You, speak into that same kind of legacy and that same kind of, I want to just listen and let the lyrics wash over me and inhale and exhale and keep it moving.
Yes, I saw that and I read that, and then you even have the other one that you stated that when you heard both of them, you're like, yes, I have to have it. The Romance of
The
You.
Romance of You is just a wonderful love song that speaks into, baby, I don't need a whole bunch. I just need you. And we need that right now. We
Yes,
need we need a music that
music,
can just,
real music. Yes.
yeah, we need real music. And whether it's in the jazz forum or whether it's R&B or whatever it is, we need the authenticness of whatever the genre is. And I hope that's what we're bringing to the audience right now.
Oh yes, coming from you, absolutely. You look as authentic as it gets. Yes, I'm loving
Thank
it.
you.
I mean, I get it. Everybody usually starts out with what you've done, and you already created that legacy, and I want to see where you are now, what you're doing, everything that you have going on. Of course, we appreciate all the milestones that you've done, being the first lady of Def Jam. I mean, I know you've done so much with that as well. I mean, you've worked with the greats of the greats. And, I've read also that your father, basically Bobby Booker, correct?
Mhm.
Right. And
Correct.
he was like trumpeter and band leader. And, you started out at the age of 4. These are the things that excite me, like learning about you and getting to how you started out in the industry and what motivated you. And, going in, I saw that you also studied dance. So you were with Alvin Ailey and Dance Theater of Harlem. So, like, this is what
Sure.
makes you up. And I'm just like, wow, just amazed of the talents and the people that you've worked with.
There's a lot of story. There's a lot of story, baby. And I often call myself the Forrest Gump of my industry because I've walked in so many places that I never expected to be, and never would have dreamed that I could. But because of the dance and the theater and the music, coming up in a jazz household, when most of the backgrounds of my peers was either through the church or straight through R&B, it was a different path to travel. And It's what's brought me now here. I mean, I was a jazz singer all along, but I was signed to a rap label and given an R&B contract. So I think a lot of people, they might know of the things that that were based in the R&B, but they don't know the backstory. So
Right.
going back to my root has given me an opportunity to to give that story and to
Yes.
connect all the dots, and that's really exciting.
Yes, it is. I mean, when I was reading, and I'm known for doing, deep research, delving in and finding out everything. We know who you are. Absolutely. When the name came up, we're like, but I want to know who Miss Williams is. We know that you're a radio personality. We know you are that voice. Yes. Love Notes with Allison Williams. Yeah. We know all of
Damn.
that. Yeah.
Shout out to our counterpart, and I say that because you have a radio show as well. But to WHCR Harlem Community Radio 90.3 FM, the
Yes.
voice of Harlem, and that is where I have a show that airs on Tuesdays from 8 to 10. And I'm so glad that it was through them that I was able to really bring my role as an on-air personality into fruition, because that was my second major in college. I
Yes.
went to college as a dance major because that was really the path I was following. But I took communications as a second major, and I've always dabbled in radio. I mean, anytime, even in releasing singles or being on the radio as part of a stage play, you have to go in on a Monday and let the people in that city know that you're there. And it would be me and David Peaston and maybe Thomas Miles' nephew Tommy,
Right.
myself, Carl Payne, would be all these different people in the quote unquote gospel shows. We were the foundation layers of of what we now call urban theater. And I would never want to just go in and just say, "Hi, we're here. We're going to be at the such and such theater at the Beacon or wherever the case may be for a week." And I wanted to read the weather. I wanted to read an announcement. I wanted to do some copy because that was my passion, was communications. And what would happen is the program director would end up calling me back, getting in touch with the promoter and saying, "Can you come back towards the middle of the week if you're not too busy and if it's not too early? We'd love to have you on because we got such great response." And so it led to me getting little opportunities here and there to do the broadcasting. And then in 2015, I was approached by the incredible Jean Parnell, who has a radio personality in her own right at WHCR and a journalist. And she came to me and said, "Allison, do you think you'd like to have your own show?" I said, "I'd love to have my own show. What do you mean?" She said, "Give me a couple of days. Let me get back to you." And when she got back to me, it was about having a meeting with the program director. Shout out to Angela Harden. And that was how it was born.
Yes.
And to date, I've had some of the greatest people from
Yes.
hip hop to classical, and it's just another arm and another opportunity to not only keep myself out there and relevant, but to shine a light on the new and upcoming people, because everybody needs that. Everybody needs someone that's going to pour positivity into their universe.
Spirits.
And
Yes.
and as you know, because you're on radio, um, it's a way to do it, and do it in a real in a relative way.
Right. Absolutely. It's so true. I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, I did follow, coming from New York myself, I know about the show. So I know you had Shaka Khan on, I know Regina Bell, Freddie Jackson, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So just amazing. I also know that you've worked with one of the greats, and I love her. We're also friends on Facebook and different things. Miss Melba Moore, she was awarded the Radio and Records Award here in Atlanta at one of the events that my friend Debbie Ireland did at Backstage, and that was amazing in itself. And
Auntie Melba.
yes, it's just an amazing soul as well. And she did a live interview, and that was amazing also. But what I saw, and it was like a huge opportunity. And you were mentored by the late and great Dr. Maya Angelou.
Absolutely. I've been very blessed to have really strong women in my life, the likes of a Melba Moore, the likes of a Nancy Wilson, and of course, Dr. Maya Angelou. And, in my early days before I came into my own, to be a session singer and to sing background on Melba Moore hits, you know what I mean? And to be able to perform on stage live when I would go to see a Nancy Wilson and she'd call me up and I think my knees almost buckled underneath me but taught me how to be on the ready with your craft. And then Doctor, who just is the gift that keeps on giving and has always poured positivity in my life and exposed me to other people that did the same, who continue to be there and support me and lift me up. It's been a great ride, and it continues to be.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I saw that, you were even you sang, one of her favorites that, God put a rainbow in the clouds back in 2015 at the National Black Theater Festival gala. And
Mhm.
that I knew that was a great honor. I mean, wow, just amazing.
Well, if you can imagine sitting at a table, and this would happen, when you had a play date, quote unquote, with Dr. Angela, she might sit and talk with you and then all of a sudden break into song. And what was so amazing is that you were already taken aback and floored by the fact that you were sitting there and she was speaking the way she spoke. And, you know, she could say water and it would just floor you. But then, to be a part of she would break out in song and begin to sing, and you go, I forgot that she started out as a dancer and a singer, and that is how she you
Yes,
know provided a livelihood and for her young child at the time. You know what I mean? She did the thing. She hustled. You know
yes,
what I mean? And then she's singing, and you want to pull out your phone and get it, but you can't because you got to live in that moment. You got to be respectful, and you just take
exactly.
it in and go. It doesn't matter if I record this. I am here. I'm here while it's happening. And God Put a Rainbow in the Clouds is one of the songs that she would not only sing for us, but she would teach through it. And the lesson is that God put a rainbow, the, the sky, the firmament is a very big and vast place. And it may be hard to see all that takes place in the firmament, but the clouds are much closer to the atmosphere that we see every day just above our heads. So God put a rainbow in the cloud as a sign, a symbol of hope. And the lyrics are, when it looked like the sun wasn't going to shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the cloud. And then it goes on to tell the story based on biblical text. And she taught us that our job is to always be a rainbow in someone's cloud.
Mm, yes.
God put a rainbow in the cloud so that we could see hope. So we should always strive to be hope.
Hope for someone
Whether
else.
it's your friend, whether it's a student, whether it's a client, whether it's an audience, we should strive to be the hope that someone can see for tomorrow. Because
Absolutely.
everybody we meet, and this is my own thought that I mean, not that I came up with, but I believe in it. Everybody we meet is fighting a battle that we know nothing about.
That is so true.
Everybody we know has something that they're fighting. We know nothing about, whether it's a friend or a family or a spouse or a significant other or a job or a lack of a job or just getting up that morning and putting one foot in front of the other. Everybody is fighting something that we have no idea about. And
Absolutely.
we're fighting our own battles, and they don't always manifest themselves on the outside. So we must strive to be in service. We must strive to be the hope, the rainbow in someone's cloud.
Amen.
And
Amen.
that's what Doctor would teach through that song. It was her favorite song. And after her transitioning, there were several people and organizations that wanted to pay homage to her, people that she had worked with, people she had partnered with. And every time, and that's why I call her the gift that keeps on giving, every time they wanted to do something, they went through the family, and the family called me.
Oh,
Or if they
Missy,
wanted
I
me,
read
they
that.
knew they had to go through the family and get sanction because that was her favorite song, and they wanted to do something that really spoke into what she was about and how she taught and how she poured into us, and and it continues to be that.
That's amazing. So tell me how the nickname Songbird came about.
Doctor had a way of naming us, and when I say us, I mean you know there were always watchful eyes that were pulling us in and trying to just like I said, mentor us. So if you have George Faison, who's the first African American to take a Tony on Broadway, he
Right.
choreographed the original Wiz. So I had a relationship with George, who was a dear friend, family with Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, who have
Ah,
been mothered and nurtured by Dr. Andrews. So there's a circle. And as you're doing your shows here and you're doing your showcase at the Sugar Bar, they will look at you and say, "Oh, we got this coming up. Why don't we call Allison to do this, or call Andre to do that, or call that one to do the other?" And so you get pulled into the circle. And as you make your mark, or as you become more familiar and become a mainstay in a circle, Doctor would, give us all names who we represented to her. And when I would walk into a room and I'd say, "Hi, Doctor," without turning around and looking at me, she goes, Songbird. And if you could just imagine, we all know how Doctor was.
yes, exactly.
We got that. We did get that feeling from her of regalness and that great I am kind of feel. And I
Yes,
can any given time I could walk and say, "Hi, Doctor," and she just go, "Songbird," and it would just floor me. And it still floors me today to know that that's what she felt when I walked into a room and she heard the sound of my voice. I was her songbird.
yes, yep. In
I
her
was
words,
her songbird.
phenomenal, phenomenally. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. I love it. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I definitely do agree that was such a wonderful opportunity, just being in such great presence. And I know that didn't stop there for you, as you said, that circle. And, I've learned so much about the circle and, just being family and upholding it and honoring it and knowing what that means. I mean, you've had the honor of Michelle Obama, Susan Taylor, which, is in the circle with my aunt as well, and Oprah, and the list goes on and on.
The
And
list goes on. There were times when I would sit on the couch and, her circle of friends being in there. And I was thinking to myself, why are they interested in me?
right.
Do you know what I'm saying? They want to know, what are you doing? What have you been doing? What did you do? And what have and I'd look at them, and these were people who were poet laureates and the Nikki Giovanni's and the Eleanor Trailers and the Dr. Janetta Coles. It's just like, are you serious? And they wanted to know, what are you doing? And what are you doing next? And how can we find you? And
Exactly.
sometimes when you're not, you don't have to be on TMZ, and you don't have to be on Extra. You don't have to be in a tabloid or
Right.
any of those things, but you have people of a certain caliber and a certain level that
That's
know who you are, and they're watching you and
yes.
they're seeing you, and they are, if they're not doing anything but praying for you, which is a big thing,
Yes.
and speaking to each other about you, and when they see you, they take a moment to sit down and go, "Okay, what are you doing? I want to hear it all. I want to hear it right now." Bam. And you
Yep.
got to be on the ready to give a report. It's a good
Amen.
thing.
Amen.
It's a good
Yes,
thing. It's a
ma'am.
good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a good thing because it
Yes.
means they care.
Here.
It
Yep.
means they care. You can go to all the different parties and walk all the red carpets, and at the end of the night, nobody might have asked you how you doing, what you doing, and
What
what's
you have
next for
going
you.
on. Right.
But
What's coming up
this is the
next.
level of people that cared, and you have to understand, these people walked with King, and these people walked and paved the way for us to be able to do what we do.
True. Absolutely.
They
Yes.
went through some stuff that we're going through it now with what our nation is like. We'll
Right.
be able to tell the next generation, but that generation went through what it was to get here, and to think that they would sit down and talk to you just like an auntie or an uncle. It was
Yeah.
incredible, and it
Pouring
continues
back
to be.
into your spirit.
And it continues to be that till today. I mean, Doctor has transitioned, but so many of those great people that I had a chance to meet and had a chance to befriend, and they befriended me, and we family. Doctor always would say, "We make family,"
Yes.
and that's what we do. And so those people are still relevant in my life.
That's
Can't get it anywhere. Can't get it anywhere.
nope, absolutely not. And something to treasure. Absolutely. Always. Yes.
And to pass on to someone else, somebody else hearing my story or getting a chance to meet these people, or to, maybe dip their toe in the water of that circle. If I'm able to do that, it's a blessing.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It is. And, you've done amazing things yourself where, you're asked to do so much, like you said, family of, or Dr. Angelo wanting you to, open up at certain events and even, requests all the way from Morocco. And I was thinking back, I was like, wow, the birthday parties, etc. So you've done some amazing things, but what I find that's so astonishing and I believe, is phenomenal and kudos, keep it up, you know, how you are as far as encouraging others, uplifting and building and community involvement because it's not just about, you have to, yes, you can be an activist, but you also have to be an advocate. And you're an advocate in the community. You do a lot of hosting. I've seen annually, you're the mistress of ceremonies, for the Aldelco Awards, and you mentor children and young adults, and you work in the public and charter school system. That to me is just amazing in itself.
And it's an ongoing and growing situation. I really get excited when I get called in to do things that don't necessarily culminate in a song or a dance. I like to be able to communicate. I like to be able to be the person that they look at and say, she was articulate, she was funny, she was down to earth, and she engaged us and got us prepared for what we were about to see, the next artist, the next musician. So my opportunity to work with Adelco and Jazzmobile, and to work for Mr. Harry Belafonte, to work for Nick and Val, and every time you just get to hone your craft a little bit, to fine tune it, and then you take that into the school system and you talk about the different people, and even if they're not really familiar with who I am, when I say I was with Mary J. Blige, when I say I came from Russell Simmons, it brightens up their eyes, and then I have their attention, and while they're laughing and smiling and having a good time, I'm dropping some knowledge and some jewels of wisdom down their throat, and that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
It means so much. I got called last year. Shout out to Christian McBride, who's one of the people who worked on Summer Nights in Harlem, and his incredible wife Melissa, that recommended me to not Reverend. I'm sorry. Ooh, I got off on a tangent. Professor Khan at the Tisch School at NYU, and they asked me to come in and speak to a group of college students, and I just felt like it was such a great it's leading to all the other things. Like I said, I've worked in the public school system and the charter school system. I've talked to young people, older people. I deal with seniors and the whole bit. But to be called to NYU to speak to a group of college students with in the Tisch School of Music, and that's a real high level situation. I
Yeah.
was. Yes, this is where I've been trying to get to where I can use my voice, my experience as a working entertainer
Yes.
that's still doing it. This is how I make my living. This is how I put food on the table
And
and keep
you're
a roof over my head.
educating. Yes.
Educating from that platform, this takes them to a whole nother level. It's one thing when, oh, I used to do this, or I'm retired, or whatever, I'm not taking anything away from that. But this is what I do day to day. This is my hustle and this is my grind. And
Right.
so it's just opening a door to me going into other situations. I really look forward to going into a lot of the historically black colleges and talking to those students who aspire to sing or dance or act or speak or write or produce or film or any of those platforms within entertainment.
Because this
I
is what
want
you
to talk
do.
to
You
them
do artist
and speak to them.
development. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. Yes, I love it. I mean, it's amazing. And just to hear everything that you've done, going into NYU, that in itself, that hats off. I mean, I can't
Thank you. And look, that week I thought I was big stuff. I was like, oh, no, it
You
really
are
makes you
big
feel
stuff.
good.
Look, you are big stuff. I love it. And it's amazing, especially with everything that you've talked about. And I definitely want to talk about what we have going on also with in-house media. And we are also partnering with the Harriet Tubman Learning Center. We have her great 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 niece Rita Daniels, and we're working on the foundation, and that's something that
Mhm.
I would love to discuss with you further about that, because we want to take that back. And
Wow.
yes, yes, it's so amazing. And in this woman has done so much. And of course, her mom, God bless her soul, may she rest in peace, passed away also in March. Harriet passed in March. And she's rebuilding. And during the pandemic, the center took a hit, as far as being displaced, and we're trying to rebuild that. And we're trying to place the learning center in each state. That's the ultimate goal. So I know we're all on the same platform. We all have the same vision and goals to make sure that we could uplift and build and just educate, because the Harriet Tubman Learning Center, it does a lot for the children. It has this STEAM program, full steam ahead, and ensuring that our communities are being built up, and that the young ones have a safe haven to go to, and know that education is key and knowledge is power. So,
And
um,
wouldn't that be what Miss Harriet Tubman would want? Do you know what I'm saying? Every
exactly.
time she went down and came up, went down and came up, and brought people forward to a new life and a new opportunity and a new thought. And even once they got here, it wasn't peaches and cream. It wasn't strawberries and watermelons and balloons and lollipops. It was hard. It
Yes.
was hard once they got up north, but they kept on coming. They kept on coming. And that woman kept on bringing them forward. So we have an obligation
Yes.
to pay it forward and to make people understand what that struggle was and how we've benefited from it and how we can keep it alive. So I say this to you in public forum. Whatever the Harriet Tubman School needs, or the foundation that goes forward in her name, please call me. Please,
Absolutely. Yes, we
please
will.
just call my name and I'll come running.
Yes, ma'am. We have it. We love you. Look, I adore you. I look. I can't say enough. It's a pleasure being in your presence. I admire you. Yes, for who you started out as First Lady of Def Jam, but you've done so much more. You're more than just the First Lady of Def Jams. You educate, and that's my big thing. I love it, lifting and upbuilding and just giving back to the community. And that's what I implore you on. Kudos. I continue with everything that you're doing. You are one of the greats and should be
Thank you.
recognized. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And what other advice would you give young ones coming up that aspire to be where you are today?
Wow. Someone asked me in an interview give me three things. They asked for three things that I would have told my younger self. The first thing I would tell myself and tell all of the up and coming artists is to pay attention. People have heard this before. The biggest word in the term show business and music business is business. So learn the business and pay attention. Don't get so caught up in the bling, bling, bling and the and all of learn the business, because that's what is going to sustain you. Secondly, What was the third? What was the second thing I said in the interview? I said, pay attention. I said, you are enough. I would have told myself, I am enough. I spent a lot of time, as I look back on my years, feeling like I wasn't enough, feeling that I needed to be something other than what I was. So as I look at the young artists that are coming up, like a Lizzo and a this one and a that one, I might not always agree with the way they come to the forefront, but I agree with what they're trying to accomplish, which is, you know, physical confidence,
Right.
and to get away from allowing people to shame you because you don't look a certain way or fit a certain mold. They're definitely on the right path. Like I said, I don't always agree with how they get there, but they're going. That's where they're trying to go. And I also, in that interview, the third thing that I would have told is you deserve better. And
Yes.
for me, that said a couple of different things. The first thing was, the relationships that I chose to invest in, because at that time I didn't realize it was an investment. But when you go into a relationship, especially when you're in the middle of building your career, you're taking something away from you so that you can give it to somebody else. And sometimes we choose situations that don't deserve that from us,
Amen.
or
Amen.
we choose relationships that should be giving as much, at least as much to us as we are giving to it. And we know we're not stupid. Sometimes we just do dumb things. For example, we give a brother a draw. What does that mean? You let him move in with you. What did you do that for? I'm not saying you shouldn't find love. I'm not saying you shouldn't have happiness when you're young and trying to figure it all out. But always know that you deserve more. And you
Absolutely.
need to, once again, it goes back to the first thing: pay attention. Pay attention to your business. Focus into your spirit and into your personal life, and always know that you are already enough. You are paid for by the stripes, blood of Jesus. You
Amen.
don't have to prove anything. God gave you a gift. Trust your gift.
That's amazing and very eloquently put. And
Thank you.
pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now, where can they find you? And everywhere. Yes.
Summer Nights in Harlem is available on every platform. It's available on a platform shoe. I promise you, it is
Yes.
available everywhere. Please, I implore you to please go out. Keep live music alive in all genres. Like I said, this new project is jazz. And for those of you who know me for the R&B, please go and listen and make the purchase.
Yes.
We purchase and consume our music now at 100 at $1.29 and $1.99, and that is what it is. But please go and get the music, because we are all out here navigating in the same waters. It doesn't matter if you are a performer that did the big stadiums or small studios, whether you were in nightclubs or on theaters, we're all out here trying to make a living. It takes more than what you think to make a show happen. For every nightclub that you can't go to, remember that there's a promoter, and there's a maitre d, and a waitress, and a bar back, and a bus boy, and a custodian, and a bartender, and they're all out of work. There's
Absolutely.
a ticket taker and an usher, and the people who printed the program, and a director, and a choreographer, and a wardrobe person, and a set designer, and a production guy, and a sound guy, and a light guy, and the guy who pulls opens the curtain, and the person who locks the door at night.
Yes.
And we're all trying to keep a roof over our head and food on our plate. So we need you to not only just go and find the music, but purchase the music. And then don't just share it with someone. Implore someone else to buy it as well.
Yes.
That's what we need you to do. Summer Nights in Harlem and The Romance of You are available on all platforms. I want you to please, please, please go out and buy it,
Yes.
and allow it to wash over you and be a blessing to you.
Absolutely. Trust me, guys, you will not be disappointed. Again, Summer Nights and Romance of You is on all musical platforms.
All platforms.
All of them. And we are going to end tonight and say thank you so much to our amazing legendary guest, Miss Alison Williams herself. And, stay tuned for everything that she has coming. Shop, 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 implore, 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 support, support, support. We have to pour back into each other. And remember the takeaways from her and myself tonight, your host, Miss Diamond, with In the House Media House Call, is that you must invest in you, your business, and remember that you are just
The house.
Yay!
Thank you, Miss